Alright guys, today we're going to be filming a video on our weekly meal prep. So starting off, guess what time I believe it's around 11:40. So we'll see how long this takes us. Usually it takes us maybe 2.5 to 3 hours, and we'll go step by step of what we're looking at to prepare our meals for 6 days for this coming week. So stay tuned. Because we're preparing a lot of different meals, we're going to need a lot of space. So we got our kitchen table here, but to make it even more exciting, also set up an additional shelf here, just with a piece of wood onto a couple chairs. Also makes it nice and exciting for the cats to play around with something else as well. Then taking back into the kitchen here, obviously we each got a little bit of counter space, not a ton. Another little meal prep area here, but we'll set up an additional table as well over here. So we have the computer coming out, pull up some recipes, and these ones we're pretty familiar with, but it's nice to stay on track with what we're doing. Keeps us on track for time and make sure that we have the right ingredients as we go. My favorite things to do is get the containers organized. So we got a good amount of containers here, a whole bunch of different color lids to the containers, and that will help us keep track of the meals that are in each container, so we don't get confused when we're quickly grabbing those to start the day and head out for work. All right, so we got our containers set up for our meals. So again, we're doing 3 meals. We have shepherd's pie, we have pineapple chicken, and we're also doing Thai basil chicken. So we got Tia's 3 meals here, my 3 meals here. You can see I have a few more containers. I do 2 a day. Tia will just do 1 of those meals. Head back into the kitchen here. Already prepping the vegetables. We already got some of the ground turkey meat on, so that's for the shepherd's pie. So we're trying to get as many things getting started as possible. Right now, sink's pretty clean. Got the clean dishes over there. So you'll see those will start piling up, and we want to try to keep getting through those as best we can so that everything continues to move. Background here, we got baseball. So we got all our containers laid out. We got our ones for main meals here. The side table, we have our additional containers. These will be for our quinoa snacks, which we'll be cooking up. So those, we have smaller portions for those. Tia's got the circle ones. I got these square flat ones. And then obviously we got space on the table, so we got our pads down for the hot plate pads. So we prepared, and then probably the most important part of the meal prep will be the scale here. So we'll be able to weigh and make sure that all these containers are equal, so we know what we're eating each day and each meal. All right, so having a plan for what meals you're gonna be doing obviously is very important to this. So right now, starting to cook up the rice. I got my big pot I'm gonna pour some rice into before we boil it. Got my trusty calculator here, so this will make sure that we know how much water, how much rice we're putting in based on the meals. So again, a lot of trial and error for this one. We kind of figured out how much rice I want to eat in each meal, how much rice Tia wants to eat in each meal. So we got it down to a pretty good science for this. We're gonna punch those numbers into the calculator, figure out how much rice we need to pour into the pot. Obviously, mix with the appropriate amount of water. Get that on. I like to have that as our kind of our base for our meals. It's a lot easier to weigh that, get those in the empty containers, and then move on.
Okay, so I've started the shepherd's pie meal. Mainly I get this one started right away because it takes the longest. So I put the ground turkey in the pan so far, cooking, and then behind it is also the carrots. Those up, a little bit softer, and then when the meat is cooked, we'll add that to the carrots. And now I'm slicing that for shepherd's pie to make it a little bit healthier for us. We choose yams and sweet potatoes. So we're gonna boil those, so just cutting them into reasonable size to put in the pot and boil. And then when that is done, we will combine it all for our shepherd's pie.
So right now we got a lot of things on the go as far as cooking, prepping going on. So not a ton for me to do, which makes sense because I don't do a lot during these meal preps anyway. Just kind of float around trying to tie things up. I'll take a few breaks to watch some sports as we're going as well. Trying my best not to do that today. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm just gonna get the dishes cleared out of the way. So we're gonna make sure that we can again keep things moving smoothly, so we're not stuck doing nothing or kind of waiting around. Just keep things moving, because again, this does take a good amount of time because we want to get through this. It's our only day off during the week, so we don't want to just be spending the whole day doing meal prep. So again, everything's going pretty good here on the stove, pretty much maxed out as far as space on the stove. All this stuff again for the shepherd's pie, like Tia mentioned, we got to get that going so we can get it in the oven, as that's going to take the longest. Then we'll have a bit more space to get everything going. Clean sink, which is always nice, so those dishes can keep rolling in. You see a lot of chicken here. We're not going to use it all, but it was on deal at Costco this week, so we're stocked up. We'll throw some in the freezer. But again, having a plan, we know exactly how much chicken we need. We need 2,000 grams for one of our meals, and then about 1,400 for the other meal. Again, just depending on the amount of meals we're doing and who's eating them. So we'll split that up, and then we'll put the rest in the freezer for next week, and we'll be good to go for that. So I'm going to start divvying out the chicken portions, slice it up so it can go into how we're going to be cooking it. And yeah, and everything's moving along smooth here. See us doing most of the work. I'm just kind of standing around videoing some of this stuff. It's currently about halfway done chopping up this chicken. So again, just chopping it up to whatever we need for the specific meal. Weighing it as I'm putting it in the bowl here. Make sure it doesn't turn off. Get this one up to 2,000. Get another bowl going here with the other amount for our chicken. So this week we're doing two meals of chicken breast. Oftentimes we'll do chicken breast and chicken thighs, but just because we're trying to stay a bit leaner this week, we'll go with 2 chicken breast meals, and they're very different meals, which is nice. So even though it's both chicken breasts, it's still very different as far as the taste from meal to meal. And we got more vegetables coming out here as we're going through. And yeah, keep getting back to the chicken, and then we'll get that on. All right, so we got our 2 separate bowls of chicken, uncooked, obviously, unseasoned so far, ready to go. Tia's getting the dust prepared. We got cornstarch for one of them, and then we got salt and pepper on the other, plus a whole bunch of other stuff, which will come. So I got that cooked up. Again, this is leftover chicken. Put that out into our freezer bags to get in the freezer. Kind of a tip for that, instead of just throwing it all into one bag, we're gonna weigh it out prior so we can freeze it and then have that portion ready to go for next week. As we know what we're gonna be doing for next week, don't know exactly what meal it will be, but we know it will be 2,000 grams for one of those meals. So we'll get a frozen chicken bag with that. On the stove, we got the yams, sweet potatoes boiling, everything mixed in on low temperatures, just kind of staying warm, getting ready for the oven. And the rice is just about done. So once I finish doing the chicken, I can get the rice going, and again, just keep things moving along. 1 pan in there so far, so still not too much urgency on that, but once we start getting these, we gotta get going on that, or we're gonna run out of space quickly. All right, so like I said, weighed it out, 2,000 right on the dot. Label that, and then we can fire it in the freezer, and then we're good to go for next week.
Put the ground turkey veg mix into the pan. That's going to go into the oven. Mash the sweet potatoes and yams. Add just a little bit of butter and salt and pepper, and now we're going to layer it on top.
Perfect timing. Oven just preheated, and we're gonna fire that. Oh yeah, so we got our chicken on the stove. in the oven. You can see still cooking shepherd's pie. Some dishes have been done, but again, quickly piling up. Again, not a ton of space. Keep those and head over to the table here and get going on the rice. Right update on the rice here. Got all of our rice to start off the week. Blue lid containers. We need one more rice. Those red lids, couple more. Reason for that, saving those, we'll re-cook some rice, or we'll cook some fresh rice midway through the week. Keep those meals a bit fresh, these back ones. Those for the shepherd's pie. Also an extra tub of rice here, that's for part of my dinner. So I'll be using that rice as part of my taco bowls for dinner. Stove update, we got chicken cooking on here. The Thai basil chicken, quinoa just starting on here. Time to head back to the table here, start portioning out pineapple chicken. Get that into our containers. See by the time 2 hours in, quinoa is just finishing cooking up. We just simmering it. This meal's done. Top it with our cashews, and then just working our way through. Just dividing. Got the chicken out, weighed it out in our chicken meals here. Got the shepherd's pie ready to go. Portion that out. So now it's pretty much just portioning out the rest of the food. Bit more cleanup, bit of dishes once we've done that, but most of it is done.
Dominic Smith is dead. This is going to be an inside the park home run. You hope Dominic Smith is okay. He went down, never got up. And Andrew Stevens.
Alright, so this meal is just getting topped off with our cashews. Most of those finished up. Again, quickly just portion out the shepherd's pie. And then also the quinoa. A little bit of tidying up, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so just finished up. Cleaned up a bit. Couple more dishes. But yeah, just over 2.5 hours. All these dishes done, counters clean, meals just cooling off, ready to get put in the fridge, and then we'll be good for the whole week. 2.5 hours might seem like a lot of time cooking, but that's gonna be saving us half an hour, whatever it might be each day. Now we're good until next weekend. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Quick little recap. If you're planning on doing some meal prep coming up, obviously have a plan, figure out what you want to eat, do the shopping, make the grocery list, get exactly what you need. That's another tip on ways to eat a bit more healthy as well. If you already prep the meals, more likely that you'll eat them. If they're healthy meals, obviously that's going to help as well, and that can also limit the amount of snacks that you have to have lying around your house. If you don't have them in your house, it's going to be a lot harder to eat them. So have a plan coming in, figure out what you need for those meals, lay it out, and then you can have all the nutrients that you need in each of those meals. You'll easily log it into MyFitnessPal. That's what we do. We get MyFitnessPal app, and then we just create the meal that we have in that, and we repeat these ones pretty often, so have those in there. Thanks for watching. Comment below if you like to see anything else as far as meal prep or any other ideas that you have for a video. Take care. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.